somebody that I would do, showing them how. All right, everybody. This is going to be my first voiceover, so it's probably going to be a little rough, and I don't know. I don't do a lot of editing, so I'm trying some new things. But what you're watching here is I'm taking the time to prep the lure blank out. When we order blanks and we get them in, they have like mold release and oils, dirt and dust and stuff like that. And the way the blanks are made is they're what's called a clamshell design. So you got two halves, and when they take them out of the mold, they put them together, and they're mechanically glued together through an ultrasonic process. Well, sometimes them lines right down the middle, kind of where you see me put my finger right there, they can have like a glued edge, a little rough. Doesn't really look very appealing. So I take the time to kind of scratch that down. I use the maroon colored Scotch-Brite pad or scuffing pad, and it seems to do really good. It doesn't wear down on the lure. It helps just kind of rough that surface up just very little, and smooths out the harsh edges, and takes away any loose bits that might look bad in the finished product. Because you'd be surprised as to what the paint, when you put that first layer of paint on, what it will do to a lure. You'll see some really nasty stuff pop up from time to time, and it just really doesn't look good. That right there is a water-based degreaser and cleaner. It's made by KBS. It's what's the name of it? I just showed it, but it's a KBS Clean with a K. Yeah, it's an all-purpose cleaner and degreaser. I wipe it down with a microfiber cloth just to help get all the dust and everything from scuffing it, and it just helps really clean and degrease and prep the lure body for putting the coat of primer down. I do recommend a microfiber cloth. It hardly ever leaves anything behind. And then after you wipe it down, take a dry side of the cloth and just dry the lure off. And that's what I'm doing right here. I'm just drying it off, making sure everything's good to go, because sometimes it doesn't dry very quick. And if any of that's left behind as far as wet, it obviously won't go good with your primer. So what I'm doing there is checking it over, making sure it's good and clean, that I've scuffed everything up. Right now I'm going to get some tape, and I'm going to tape off the bill. Now, I do appreciate y'all watching these videos, and like I said, this is my first voiceover, so any input would really be nice. If I'm doing good, talking too much, not enough, I'm giving good description, bad descriptions, just let me know. But I usually use a liquid mask to protect my bills on the lures, but sometimes that's more hassle than what it's worth, to be honest with you. Some lures it does really good, some it's just not worth it. This particular lure is just easier to tape it off. It gives me a good line still yet. It's not a really hard bill to tape off properly and have a good finish in the end. I know you can't see it, but right now I'm trying to get some tape poked up underneath the line tie. So after I bring it back around, finishing it off, sometimes it doesn't want to line up. And even though I'm taping it off, I like everything to be very symmetrical and just look good and uniform on the bill. That way when I take the tape off, everything just looks really good. Now what you just saw me doing is I'm taking a strip of tape, and it's a painter's tape, so it's low tack, but I'm just tapping it on the lure, making sure there's no dust, hair, I got a pet, so trying to keep pet hair off of it. Anything that might have clung to it, trying to keep that off. Now I'm going to prime this lure with is a clear primer. It's the auto air version of Createx. It's the uh, the auto sealer, I think is what it's called. It's the Autoborn sealer. It's a 6000 transparent sealer. It does a really good job at giving a good prime coat for the paint to really stick to and to make the paint adhere to the lure. But it also allows me to be able to give base coats the way I want them. Sometimes going white or black just doesn't do it for me. Every now and then, as you're getting ready to see, I like to use certain colors to really enhance the base colors of the lure. Once you get it mixed up really good, just put it in your airbrush. The particular airbrush I use for doing primers is a Krios brand. It's a PS290. It has a .5 needle set in it. It does really good for simple primers, doing base coats, and every now and then I use it for clear coat as well. You just want to get it sprayed on nice and even. Even though it's transparent, you can still see it wet the lure. You'll see it actually get like a milky color to it. And just get a good even coat. Once it dries, it'll be really, really clear. It'll be actually probably about 100 times clearer than what it was when you got it most of the time. A lot of these lure blanks are a little frosted. And after you buff them down and then clean them and put a clear primer on them, they get real clear and really clean looking. Now, on top of showing the importance of prepping the lure blank itself, because that is a very important step. Like I said, it helps clean the plastic up really good, helps take any of the defects or bumps and stuff like that. I also want to show the importance of building your colors and what they'll do. Here in a little bit, you're going to see me grab a base coat. It's definitely not going to be the base coat or the color that is ever going to be seen on this lure, but it's the effect that it has on the paint that's going on top of it that I'm really wanting to show you guys. It makes a big difference as far as how you start the lure. Just black and just white, it will work, but I find that there's certain colors underneath certain colors that really enhance either the vibrancy or the tone of the color. All I'm doing here is using a heat tool. I'm not getting it super hot. I'm not completely drying it with the heat tool because it can crack and stuff like that if you do. All I'm doing is giving it some warmth to allow it to dry a little bit faster. It does not hurt the lure. It does not hurt the primer as long as you don't overheat it. If you overheat it, you could actually crack the lure and cause the paint to crack and separate from itself as well, or the primer. All right, as you see here, I am using an Inspire paint. It is a base paint called Blush. It's got I guess you say like a muted pink color. But for the colors I'm getting ready to pick, believe it or not, a base coat of pink goes really well at setting these colors up to be nice, bold, and vibrant. I'm sorry about sniffling and stuff like that, y'all, if you're hearing that. It's allergy season, obviously. But I am spraying this to that same airbrush I used earlier. Uh, I definitely need to work on keeping it in frame a little bit better. I thought I had it in frame, and I don't. And if y'all know me, I don't do a whole lot of editing. But you will eventually see it, and it has a really nice, like a low tone, just a soft pink color after it's laid down. I will go over the entire lure. I'll coat the entire body for what I'm doing right now. Both colors I'm getting ready to put on top and bottom. They will really benefit from this base coat. And I do apologize for the lure not being in frame, y'all. Like I said, I'm still working on some of this stuff, and I'm going to make mistakes. So just kind of bear with me if y'all would. I do appreciate y'all being patient with me as I learn how to do these videos more. I definitely enjoy it, and I definitely enjoy seeing y'all's comments. I learned a long time ago, like I said, that the color at the very bottom really helps the end product. You can see there it's just a really light pink, but it just you'll see. It's definitely going to set the colors very good. I'm just cleaning the airbrush out. I'm getting ready to use a pyro orange, as you've seen there. If that's, I think that's how you pronounce it. It might be pyro orange. I'm I'm not good at pronouncing some of them words, but it's an opaque orange, but it starts out translucent, and as you build the orange up, it will go opaque. So it's a really good all around paint. So if you're looking for an orange or any color, look for that pyro, or I said it's, yeah, I believe it's pronounced pyro, Pyrrole. But whether it's orange, red, blue, green, they'll just start out really translucent, and they'll build their opaqueness as you put more coats down. But that type of paint works really good with using base tones to set the vibrancy of the paint, or the tone of the paint. As you see there, the orange comes on really good right off the bat. Even though that's a transparent color, you see that orange just really come to life. Now here I am having a little bit of trouble with my airbrush. I wound up getting a little bit of a clog in it. I did have to clean that after I sprayed the orange, but it didn't keep me from being able to get the orange put on there. It did take a little bit longer than it should have. But if you watched really close right there, the belly went from a dull orange to a really bright orange all of a sudden. And that is due to the fact of the base color. This orange, like I said, it does build its color up as it goes, but the uh, the vibrancy is really set by that base tone. It would have been a good, nice orange if I just used it over white or something like that, but the pink just really brings them orange colors out. Every time I paint like this, I really find it amazing how beautiful them colors come after that last coat. I will usually put about 2 coats down. Now we will be switching here in a second over to Pyro. No, it wasn't Pyro. I know it just showed it. Yeah, that was Pyro Red, which is the same type. It starts out translucent and goes opaque the more layers you put down. And red and orange both do really good over this pink. They both get a really bright vibrancy. And just, I really hope. I know that the the recording of the video could have been done a lot better. I do sincerely apologize about that, people. But I really hope y'all still get something from this video and can see the importance of the color that you put down first to build your colors on top of. This is stuff I had to learn a long time ago doing other types of painting, and it's what I've carried over into my lures, and that's kind of why I am a little bit slower painter than most, is because I'm trying to make sure that the colors I'm putting on top of each other, the way I layer things, that it's going to come together the way I want it to. In this particular lure, I wanted a really vibrant red top and a really vibrant orange bottom. Didn't really want any muting going on, and had I used white, the orange would have popped really good, and the red would have been more whitewashed. And what that means is just the red would have been bright, but it would have been like putting a red cloth over a white light. It would have been red, and it would have been beautiful, but you would have known that there was a brighter color underneath. And all I'm doing is drying it off. And like I said, just don't. You can do that even with a hair dryer. You don't have to use a heating tool. Just don't overheat them. Just you'll see your paint laid down good and wet. And as soon as you see it getting, just changing colors, stop putting heat to it. Here I'm trying to get the focus so y'all can see it a little better and see the vibrancy of the colors. It takes me a minute, so it's going to come up here in just a second, y'all. There we go. You can see that the red, and then it shifts over into the orange on the side, and then it goes straight orange on the belly. But both of them, they live in kind of the same world, the same warmth. They're both very vibrant, very bright. There's not one overpowering the other. They shift and merge right into each other very well. And had I done that with white, you wouldn't have done that. You would have seen a hard transition. Well, as y'all saw, it does matter. At least I believe it does. If y'all want, I can do one without the base coat to show you a difference, but I don't know if the camera will pick it up or not. The color of the base coat matters a lot. Ask any automotive painter. You can change the tone, the temperature, and everything of the paint on top by the paint on the bottom. It's just something I do. It is one of the reasons I'm a little slower painter. I do try and think about what the color below is going to do to the color on top. It's just something I do. It's the way I've always been taught to paint. So that's just the way I keep doing things. I personally believe that red and that orange is a lot more vibrant with that pink base coat. Now, if I wanted to change things, like say if I was doing a gold, most of the time you'll put a black base down for gold. You could put a black base down if you want, or you could put a white primer, and then, or a clear primer like I did here, and use an opaque color like a blue or a green, and then do gold on top of that, and your gold will become more of a green gold or a blue gold. I haven't tried it with color shifts yet. I would kind of like to try and play with some ideas and maybe come up with like a fool's gold, where it's got them color shifts inside that gold color, but it's all coming from underneath the gold, so it makes it look like it's part of it. I went and all that just to emphasize that the colors underneath do matter. Um, Now I am going to put details and stuff on top of that lure. That lure will be a video that I promised somebody that I would do, showing them how I do a demon crawl. And it's I kind of picked one of the smaller lures. I should have picked a bigger lure, but I think that's going to do a really good demon crawl. It's nice, small, little profile. It is a it's a 110 plus 1 mini, not a junior. It's called a mini. I've not used it. This one I'm painting for myself. It's going to be my test lure, and we're going to see how that works. But by all means, if y'all like this type of video, this is my first voiceover. I don't even know how well it's going to go. This is done before I even start doing the editing for the video. So I'm crossing my fingers, hoping everything goes good. If y'all do like it, please let me know. In fashion of my channel, good or bad, I'm gonna post a video. So hopefully it goes good. But by all means, if y'all like this stuff, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. That way you can keep up with the videos I put up. I do try and do one video a week, but depending on my work schedule, obviously spring's coming in, so the spawn's hitting. So my fishing schedule, sometimes I'm get a little late on getting that video out. I'm sorry, I keep looking over at that red is just really popping. It's gonna look good once I put them scale details on there. But yeah, please hang out. Come see what I do. Let me know what you think about it. Kind of different still yet, putting myself out there like that. I'm used to being over on other apps, but this one's definitely different. It gets out to a whole lot more people, I think. But I appreciate every one of y'all for at least watching this video. And if it helped you, let me know. Talk to y'all later.